You hear it all the time, right? Companies want their spending to make a real positive impact. But it's so tough to get from just wanting to do good to actually doing it. Well, today we're going to break down a strategic blueprint that shows exactly how they can turn that good intention into real, measurable change. And this really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing to have a nice mission statement on your website, but it's something else entirely to build a system that actually channels your company's spending toward partners who are making a difference on the ground. So how on earth do you bridge that gap? Okay, so first things first, let's get a key term straight. The partners we're talking about are called social enterprises. And this is a super important distinction. These are not charities. They are actual businesses, but they're built from the ground up to solve social problems. Their profits get funneled right back into their mission. That's what makes them such powerful, sustainable partners for big companies. All right, the best way to think about this whole process is as a journey. First, we'll look at the big challenge that pretty much every company faces. Then, we'll walk through 3 different levels of getting involved, from just laying the foundation to becoming a real leader. And finally, we'll see how a company can figure out exactly where they fit in. You know, for these huge corporations, the biggest hurdle is often just logistics. I mean, think about it. They have these massive, incredibly complex supply chains. So finding the right social enterprises, checking them out, and then plugging them into that huge system, that's a monumental task. It's not that they don't want to help, it's that they often have no idea where to even begin. So that brings us to level 1, the foundation. Think of this as the starter pack. It's the perfect entry point for any company that's just starting to think seriously about using its purchasing power for good. It gives them all the essential tools to just get going. Okay, so there's an annual cost here to get started. But the real question is, what does a company actually get for that? What kind of strategic change does it kickstart? Well, and this is pretty cool, the first step is actually about looking in the mirror. You've got these diagnostic services that scan a company's existing supply chain, and you'd be surprised how often they find social enterprises that the company is already working with. They just didn't know it. Once you know who's there, then you can start setting some real achievable goals. And you get toolkits to get everyone on the team excited and on the same page. It's all about building that awareness from the inside out. All right, so once that groundwork is laid, a company is ready for level 2. This is where the focus shifts from just being aware of the possibilities to actively building deeper, more customized partnerships. It's for companies that are ready to roll up their sleeves and take dedicated action. And a really key thing to remember here is that these levels stack on top of each other. So you're not leaving anything behind when you move up. You're keeping all those foundational tools and just adding more horsepower to your strategy. So yeah, the investment goes up a bit, but that's because you're unlocking a whole new level of hands-on collaborative services. At this professional level, things get way more collaborative. Instead of just identifying random opportunities, companies get custom-fit recommendations for partners that match their exact needs. They get to join learning sessions with other companies doing the same thing, and even go to events to meet new suppliers face-to-face. And, this is huge, they get an annual report to actually measure their impact. This is where you go from just hoping you're doing good to knowing you are. And that brings us to the top of the mountain, level 3. This is for the real heavy hitters, the companies that don't just want to participate in the game, they want to change the rules for their entire industry. And you guessed it, this top tier includes absolutely everything we've talked about so far. You get all the features from the previous levels, making it the most comprehensive package you can get. It's the whole shebang. Now, this is obviously a much bigger commitment, but it's designed for a totally different goal, to unlock some serious, unparalleled strategic influence. At this level, we're talking about shifting the conversation to the C-suite. It means exclusive roundtables for senior leadership, deep dive strategy sessions to build a fully integrated plan, and advanced support to tell that impact story to the whole world. This is the point where social procurement becomes a core part of the company's public identity and brand. So when you look at all 3 of these levels, it becomes pretty clear, right? This isn't some rigid, one-size-fits-all system. It's a flexible path that's designed to meet a company exactly where they are on their social impact journey. And here you can see the whole framework laid out. It's such a clear pathway. It starts with just discovery, moves into active partnership, and can go all the way up to strategic leadership. It's basically a ladder of impact. You start on the first rung, and you can climb as high as your ambition takes you. This table just breaks it down perfectly. Are you just starting out? Then the key is discovery and awareness. Are you ready to get your hands dirty and take action? Then it's all about customization and collaboration. And if you want to lead the pack, then your focus is strategy and influence. Each level has a totally distinct purpose for a different stage of a company's goals. And really, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this right here. Making a real, meaningful impact isn't a one-and-done deal. It's not about writing one check or making one special purchase. It's about building a system, creating a strategy, and committing to a journey that can grow right alongside the company. So that kind of leaves us with a big question to think about, doesn't it? Now that we know that these clear, structured roadmaps actually exist, what should our expectations be for the companies we buy from and the places we work? How much should we expect them to invest, not just in doing good, but in doing good well?